Hi guys. Hi, I hope everyone is doing well. Thanks for hanging. Ooh. So it's very hot. I'm upstairs in my office and it's hot, right? So I have the fan on, which can sometimes make the sound not work as well. So let me know if there's any sound issues, because I can put the fan on the floor if I need to. That's fine. But yeah, I also didn't quite realize how my hair would be blowing in the wind. But here we are. Hi Nicole, how are you? Today is the last day that we are in our other house. Kay's finishing up over there, and then we're done, and I'm so excited. This move has been tough, so yeah, very ready to not be actively moving stuff from one place to the other. So hi Sarah, how are you? Yeah, I'm in my own music video, absolutely. Just have need some 90s R&B raindrops. The lighting, yeah, it's all very, very nice. And thank you. Okay, the sound is good. Again, if any of you hear anything or are having issues with it, let me know and I can adjust. Hi Sarah, two Sarahs. And Heather, I was not able to make it to Flock. We did not get enough done with the move for me to be able to take the day off. So I did a bunch of people who went, stopped by the store I work at on Monday and really enjoyed it. And some vendors I heard had a really great time. So I will hopefully make it to next year's Flock. But yeah, I've heard just really good things about it. Any of you end up making it to Seattle for it? You should let me know. I want to know how it was. You need the mirror and riding on the glass lipstick moments. That I don't know why I'm envisioning Ashley Simpson, but so what I'm working on is the second sleeve of my Grouse Creek pullover, which just needs to be finished. When you have a project that is kind of giving you almost anxiety because it's taking so long. I don't know why. I finished the sleeve in a week. So in theory, that means I just have one more week of knitting before it's done. But yeah, I really, really want to get it off the needles and to the store so I can focus on my other stuff, because after I finished that first sleeve, I gave myself permission to cast on one of the things I'm excited for fall, which I will tell you more about in the podcast episode that's coming on Friday. So I'm not going to talk about it too much now, but I don't want to put it down. I can't stop working on it, which feels so good because I feel I haven't had a project like that in a while. So yeah, very excited. So anyway, I just put all the stitches for the second sleeve on the needles, and I need to knit for an inch straight before I start doing decreases. So that's what I'm working on. Okay. Love the new cozy office space, the Prioritize Coziness poster. Yes, I just got this one in the mail. This is one of the only ones that I have purchased so far to add to my little section, and it's by a queer printmaker who goes by Coyote Snout on Etsy and Instagram. So I know I like loved that graphic when I saw it, and I started following them, and then saw that they had prints available, and I was like, yeah, I need that. And it was very reasonably priced. So if you guys need some artwork, I would highly recommend it. It was so fun. You went on Sunday and hoping to vend next year. Yes, I looked into vending as well, and maybe next year I won't be so scatterbrained, but very cool. Hi Maria, how are you? I feel like that about this second sleeve that you're working on. Yeah. I don't know. I don't even feel like it about the sleeve. I just feel like it about the whole project. So, but it looks really good on, like, my measurements and everything came out well. I added some A-line shaping so that it fits nicely over my hips. It's gonna look good. So, Jasmine, hi. Headed to Oregon this weekend and get to spend a couple hours in Portland before heading out to the coast. We are definitely stopping by Powell's. Any other recs? Oh, well, Powell's will keep you occupied for sure. If you want a yarn store downtown, yeah, if it's just a couple hours. I mean, Powell's and around that area, there's a lot of good stuff to look at. They just opened a Shake Shack, and I actually really love Shake Shack. It's literally right across the street. So if you've never done that, I don't know where you're coming from, but Shake Shack is fun. Yeah, let me know what you're looking for, like other food, like better food, anything. Yes, please check out Coyote Snout. Yeah, but the coast is beautiful. That sounds like a really nice little trip. But for real, I could spend all day in Powell's. It's like kind of a problem. What's everyone working on tonight? Food and yarn shop Rex. Where is the flea market? Dinner Rex around there. There's Screen Door, which is like comfort food. There's, God, I don't spend a ton of time downtown, but Screen Door is kind of a Portland staple. That would be a good option. Yeah, it's this weekend, yeah. Well, if you're coming to Portland and looking for a yarn store, I have to plug the store I work at, which is Starlight. It's my favorite. I mean, you know, take it with a grain of salt. I'm biased, but I think it's a great yarn store. That's why I work there. So definitely come check that out. Summer Girl Socks by Sari Nordlund. So nice. This is also the thing I hate about sleeves when you're first starting, is like you just end up with this like cinnamon roll situation, like a croissant. Yeah, I do recommend Starlight, but of course I know it's like a little out of the way, especially if you're downtown, so like I get it, I understand. You're working on a Moody Inclination shawl while dreaming about my next spin, inspired by Artifacts of Appreciation. I don't have any of her fiber, but I love the color she gravitates towards. Yeah, she's kind of a color whiz for sure. Working on a lighter weight, look at my holes. Oh my God, Maria, was that, you were talking about making a dress version? Amazing. Yeah, of course you should do it. Ugh, that would be so cool. Not look at my holes. The other one, the pure mesh pullover, is done, but it has to live at the store for 6 months before I get it to wear. But I'm very excited to put together some like adult emo kid looks. I think it's gonna, amazing. I'm so excited for that. Trying to finish up the warp and weft raglan test knit. Yeah, Sarah, that seemed like a pretty big commitment. I'm excited to see how it looks. Dawn, I put my sweater in a light metal bowl and spin the bowl when I work on sleeves. Oh, that's really smart. I usually, because I do magic loop, once it gets long enough, I can kind of flip it back and forth and it's not a really big issue, but like when it's so small, it doesn't really matter. So I've been saying that I've been very excited for autumn. I always am. But it now like really feels like autumn because Love Island is over. Kay and I finished we've been waiting to finish Yellow Jackets basically for the entirety that Love Island was on, which is like 2 months. And we watched 2 episodes last night and I was like, oh, we only have 3 episodes left. I was like, what a difference to have just like a 10 episode show per season, as opposed to like a 50 episode show. So I feel like we're actually gonna like finish some shows up that we've been meaning to finish. So we watched, so we're finishing up Yellow Jackets. We also started The Bear. I kind of started The Bear, and then Kay kind of like hijacked my watching, and so now I have to wait for them to finish watching it. And they just did that also with Guillermo del Toro's like Cabinet of Curiosities that's on Netflix. Verdict is still out whether I like that. Have any of you watched any of those episodes? There's a couple that like really have resonated with me, but like in general I'm sort of, I don't know, some of them are better than others. But yeah, there's such a large barrier of entry to Love Island and Big Brother, but they're so good. Yeah. I mean, it's intimidating when you're like looking at a show that has like as many episodes as Love Island does. Yeah. The Bear is so good. Yeah, I'm really enjoying it. My cousin and her partner still works in food, and she did work as like a sous. And so they were both like, it's like, I found myself dissociating because it's like so intense and real, which I think is nice to like have a piece of media that kind of honors the back of house. Yeah, it's good. I like it. You have complicated feelings about Yellow Jackets. I definitely understand that. I'm like sort of less interested in them as adults and just wish, I don't know. It was just like, whatever. Yeah, you watched a few episodes of the Cabinet of Curiosities and it was hit or miss. Yeah, I feel like that too. Like, there's a couple, I think, that were inspired by like H.P. Lovecraft stories. And I was just sort of like, it didn't feel like they were like fully sussed out. Also, I'm still bitter that HBO canceled Lovecraft Country. So, it's fine. That show is so good. My mom started watching The Bear without me, so I'm making her rewatch it. I've watched The Cabinet. Some of them I was like, eh? And others I was like, wow. Yeah, totally hit or miss. But I mean, that's what happens when it's... I do like the opportunity that they got to do like these little like bite-sized horror productions. I think that's like a cool idea. And then potentially they could be turned into bigger projects. But yeah, Kay and I have been really, really wanting to go see the... Talk to Me A24 movie. which was actually like a smaller independent film that was made in Australia, and then A24 basically just bought the license to distribute it wider. So I know that's in theaters right now. I wanted to see it the second I saw the preview, and we've just been moving, so I haven't seen it yet. But we did make time to go see Barbie, so that was fun. No spoilers, but agree, re-adult Yellow Jackets. Yeah, that's all I'll say about it. Yeah, is anyone else watching anything good? Because once we're done, we will need some recommendations. Hi, Maple. Hi. Yeah, you hear me talking? Maple's adjusting pretty well to the new house, although there's a park right across the street, and she really loves it so much that a couple of times she's gotten out and just like bolted to the park. So that's been cool. Everything has been fine, okay? She crossed the street, no one hit her, but like, my God, this dog might give me a heart attack. Still need to see that. The final Insidious. Oh, how was it, Maria? I saw that you were like doing a little screening. I like the Insidious movies, but also I feel like they can kind of like chill with his like franchises, right? I can't remember his name right now. You know who, the Conjuring / Insidious dude. But I do like Insidious. I like them. So I'm excited to watch that. And Demeter looks good too. I mean, I don't know. It looks more like action-y than horror, but love A24. Hereditary is my limit for horror. Hereditary is a pretty high limit for horror. Yeah, I don't know. Trying a metal bowl for my sweater now. Oh, I love that. Everyone's learning tips from everyone else. The Coyote Snout merch is making me emotional in the best way. Yeah, it's really sweet. I thought about getting a couple other ones, but this was the one that I knew I needed. So, The Lost Flowers of Alice Hart. Only Murders in the Building. Season 3 started today. Oh, wow. We watched the first season and loved it, and then I just didn't watch the second one. So that's cool. Okay. And that's like, feels like such a cozy autumn show. Yeah, that's a good one. We did a rewatch of the past ones, but I still need to see the final one. I've heard it's some nice closure at least. I don't even know what that is, so I'll have to write that down because I love your recommendations. Watching Lost for the first time, trying to get everyone I know to do it also. You're not the only person I know who is watching Lost right now, which is funny. There's like a very sweet guy on YouTube who does like an unhinged recap of like the entirety of Lost, and sometimes I kind of like, I want to partake in like a cultural moment, like of a movie or a TV show. I felt that way about like The Ultimatum, but I couldn't and didn't want to sit down and watch it. I just like couldn't. I wasn't feeling it. So I actually just was like, I told my coworker, I was like, just tell me what happened. I want to know the chisme. Yes, Mike's Mike. Thank you. I want to know the chisme, but I don't want to spend the time watching the show. And so I just had her tell me, and honestly, I feel like I got the same level of like enjoyment as I would have watching it to be able to discuss it. So yeah, I also watched his, because I never watched the like OG Gossip Girl. It just was not my jam. And I don't want to watch it now. But I watched him do a recap of it, which I was glad. Like, I felt like I needed the info. The intel, if you will. But I didn't want to watch it. I don't want to spend time watching it. It's kind of like normal gossip. Like, sometimes it's fun to just have someone, like, give me their thing. Yeah. I hope he's not spoiling it for you, though. Like... I wonder, like, if there was one show that I could do, like, an unhinged recap of. I wonder what show I would choose. If you had your one, like, what an icebreaker, right? He's leading you astray. Like, what an icebreaker. If you could do, like, a 3-hour-long unhinged recap of a TV show or a franchise, like, what would that be for you? I kind of feel like one of the ones that I deep dived into, like, earlier this year was Cloverfield. And that would be a really, really fun one. You could do Glee with no prep. Amazing. And Glee's wild because there's a lot of stuff that happened, like, off screen too with just the actors, and I feel like you could get into that too. Right? Like, there's still stuff happening. Cloverfield would be a bonkers one because you'd have to get into all the, like, weird marketing stuff and, like, alternate reality game that they would do. But so the guys who made the Talk to Me movie that I was just talking about, and they are, like, YouTubers, like the kids, whatever, they're young people who made that movie are YouTubers. And the reason I know of them is because there was an alternate reality game, which is basically like it's like storytelling through social media. I mean, the internet kind of changed them, I guess, but there will be, like, a YouTube channel and it's, like, just a vlog, and if you saw it you wouldn't necessarily think anything of it, but then, like, there's hints and weird things that kind of happen within it that lead you to other clues. I find them really fascinating and just, like, a bizarre, amazing piece of, like, internet culture. And so there was one a while ago that was called Ash Vlogs, and they were involved in it as if it wasn't like fiction. So they, like, on their vlog channel they were like, we're meeting up with this girl but this weird stuff is happening. So yeah, they were like, yeah, I don't know, they were involved in it. It was pretty cool. There are, like, recaps of those. They're definitely horror-y and creepy, so if you're not into that, then I wouldn't recommend it. But they're pretty fun to watch, like, people kind of go over all the clues and stuff. There was one that actually happened on TikTok, like, earlier, probably in, like, 2020 or 2021, that was called, like, 10 Tapes. That was a really good one. And a YouTube channel called Night Mind does really good recaps of them and just kind of, like, covers the stories. So yeah, unhinged recap of the Twilight series would be interesting. I don't doubt for a second that already exists. Monument Mythos, I have not heard of that one, but yeah, I assume. There's also, like, a podcast show that was called The Black Tapes, that's kind of like the same vibe, but just, like, more, like, obviously fictional, I guess, and, like, storytelling. But yeah, anyway, weird niche interest that I like to fall down the rabbit hole about. So my cousin and I went to do Halloween shopping this weekend on Sunday. We just wanted to be inspired, and it felt like a nice thing to do. So we went to Home Goods. We went to we drove out to the burbs to go to like a bougie Home Goods and a bougie Joann's and Michael's, and we took my niece, and she was cracking us up because at one of the places, it was actually Big Lots, had this big werewolf like animatronic that was taller than us, like 7 to 8 feet tall, and it was like motion activated, and she was just so excited about the dog. She was like, look, there's a dog, and it's a big dog, and it's really cool. And we were like, what is a dog? What sound does a dog make? And she doesn't do bark. She goes like a dog pants. So she kept like being like, check this guy out, and being like, it's a dog. And we were like just beside ourselves. It was so cute. And we were like, you're already a spooky gal. I mean, there was no hope for you to not be, but let me see how many rows did. Couple more. Yeah, it was very cute. She was just stoked. There were some other ones that she was like, no. But we also found these like jack-o'-lantern lights that when you turn them on, they like sing Monster Mash. Like they like their little light up mouths like are singing. And then she kept like pressing the button throughout the entirety of Big Lots, which was very funny. Makes me think of a video of the little girl seeing a bear and saying, can I pet that dog? The like Alvin and the Chipmunks werewolf, I don't know if it was a movie or episode, but I remember that scared me like so bad for some reason. Yeah, I don't know, when I was a kid that totally freaked me out. Anyone remember watching that? Where one of the chipmunks, I don't remember which one, gets bitten by a werewolf. I also, like, within the last year, watched Ginger Snaps for the first time, which is so good. Also, like, teenage girl. Well, also a werewolf movie, but it's, like, teenage girl. And for fall movie. And yeah, sorry if there's like some buffering. I think I will eventually have to get like a I don't know, amplifier for my Wi-Fi, but it is what it is for now. I also got a new lip balm flavor from work, and it's like apple, and I wasn't sure that I was gonna like it, but I like it quite a lot. Very like New Englandy. I don't know if any of you do that to smell your lip balm. But I'm like very happy that I can kind of get back into somewhat of a routine after moving, because I really miss doing live streams, and I think you all miss them. I think I didn't do them for like a couple of months. I did one like sporadically, but I love these Tuesday live streams, and it feels like just like an opportunity to chat and hang out. yeah, so I'm glad we're back at it. And last week was fun because I kind of had you guys picking some yarns for a granny square, and I'm hoping that this sleeve will be done by next week, so I won't be working on it and I can continue that granny square. But I'm trying to be disciplined and actually finish this sweater. I saw someone who was blocking a sweater use like the pool noodles, right? Like you get a bunch of pool noodles from the dollar store and then you kind of situate them along the side seam and along like the sides of the sleeve, basically so that you don't get like a crease when it's drying lying flat. So I'm hoping to try that. I'm hoping that my Dollar Tree will still have pool things, but maybe also like Walmart might have that. I can cut them up and kind of customize them, but yeah, I've been meaning to do that, and I figured for this sweater, because I don't really want it to have that like seam because it's going to be hanging on a mannequin. So I'll keep you updated about that and how it goes. Have any of you ever done that? Do you know what I'm talking about? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, great. Now we're starting our decreases. Yeah, gross out might have, for sure. I don't know, Emily, if you see any pool noodles, let me know. There's a, yeah, I don't know if you all have grocery outlet where you are, but for some reason, the first time I heard about it, people called it gross out, and I know it's not a nice place to go to actually grocery shop to call it gross out, but there you go. I usually will just rearrange my sweater after a few hours on the blocky mats, but the pool noodles sound like a good idea. Yeah, I think just to like leave it and walk away, I like the idea of it. And they're kind of like porous material, right? So there's probably like at least a little bit of airflow because they need to float. Yeah, I have this like idea of how I can kind of like cut them so that they'll like fit in a sleeve and stuff. But also we'll just see how it goes. And I do have a video coming out on Friday about my like fall knitting plans. I know, I'm like jumping the gun, okay? It's August, but like next month is September, so. Am I the only one like super anxious for autumn? Aside from Maria. Hi, Maple. What you doing? Gross out. I get my wine and gluten-free or organics there. See, you know what's up. You just want to hang out with me? Do you want to say hi to everybody? Come here. Ah! Come say hi. I have forgiven her for giving me a heart attack the couple of times she's bolted to the park. One time she didn't even bolt to the park, we just thought she had. And so we both ran over to the park kind of freaking out, and when I got back, she was so upset that we had gone without her that she pooped on the floor. So, my little dog with a lot of opinions. Her little feet. Okay. Fall cannot come soon enough. So ready for cooler weather. We have had like some cloudy mornings here, and it's usually like even in the middle of summer, the nights get down into the 60s, so I can kind of pretend that it's like spooky and cozy. But yeah, our new place also has like much better lighting, like just the natural light is so much better, so I've been very grateful for that. Even on cloudy days, it's like just feels nice. Well, someone's cozy. Okay, you ready to go down? Say bye, everybody. No. Bye. Okay. It is finally cooling off though, because the sun kind of hits that side of the house in the evening, so it's not too bad in this room, but it definitely still heats up a little bit. Scooch. There we go. I'm currently, so I joined a book club with one of my coworkers who hosts it. It's like a knitting and reading club, which is very sweet. And last month, I picked the book, and I talked about it briefly on the last live stream. It's called When Women Were Dragons. When Women Were Dragons, sorry. And it was, I did enjoy it. I definitely like got where the inspiration comes from. It's sort of this idea that women have so much like pent up anger that they transform into dragons, and then the consequences of it. And it's told through the perspective of a young woman who was impacted by adults in her life turning into dragons. And I feel like just the actual like pace of it was a little, I don't know how to say, like it felt like there was just a lot, like it was very dense and slow paced in the beginning, and then at the end it just like whoop, like sped through. So it was a little like, whoa, like I kind of didn't see the ending coming, because it felt like we were still in like the middle of it. And sometimes with metaphors like that, I kind of feel like they're so on the nose that like it doesn't really do anything for me, which maybe is a funny thing to say, but I just was sort of like, yeah, okay. Like one of the other ladies in the book group was like, I felt like it was a short story that got sort of forcibly turned into like a longer book, and then she like looked at an interview with the author, and that's exactly what it was. So I thought that was an interesting like observation. So that's what we read last month. I mean, I did enjoy it. I don't think it would get like 5 stars for me, maybe like a 3. But this month, we all were like trying to figure out what to read, and we decided to read a Louise Erdrich book. I've read one of her books before called The Night Watchman, which I really, really enjoyed. Very like slow paced, very like character driven books, and she's native and a lot of the characters in the book are native. And this book is like about, on the face, it's like about a haunted bookstore. I'm really, really enjoying it. I started it like last week without a lot of time to be listening to audiobooks, and I like haven't, like any chance I get, I'm listening to like 5-minute chunks of it. So I'm I think about 60% of the way through it, and just like so enjoying it. It's really good. So yeah, I felt like it was kind of on the nose from reading the blurb for the When Women Were Dragons, and ended up just taking it back to the library. Yeah, it kind of like, maybe unpopular opinion, but it felt like the Barbie movie. You know, just that kind of like very simplified white lady feminism, you know, told that same story back to you. I thought there were a lot of ways that it could have been a little more interesting, and then also she starts interacting with the dragons later, and I was just like, I felt like there were elements of this that I was like, okay, I could like, it like felt like magical realism a little bit more than like it never felt like fantasy. But then like they took a turn, and I was like, this just like doesn't even feel like I could suspend disbelief to believe it. Does that make sense? Anyway, but the Louise Erdrich book is so good. I'm like very invested in the characters and just really enjoying it. Although it must have come out very recently, because she's writing about 2020 and COVID happening, which I didn't know, but it's very interesting to be like reading about it. I haven't really gotten to a point where someone has written about it like in a fiction book. Yeah, anyway, I'm really, really enjoying it. I love when authors write stories that are basically love letters to literature and books, and that's what this is. So it's very sweet. Yeah, it knows what it is, and it's really good. So I'm thoroughly enjoying that at the moment. Love Medicine. Yeah, I'm definitely realizing I need to just like put all her books in my queue, because I have thoroughly enjoyed all of them. The 1.5 that I have read so far. But yeah, I've kind of done book clubs like informally before, like, but yeah, I'm enjoying, like, we kind of see each other every week at knit night, and we kind of just like catch each other up on how we're feeling about the book, which I think is really cool. So I've just been enjoying that a lot. I also finally started the Throne of Glass series, which is like Sarah J. Maas's first, book series. And I'm aware that she wrote the first one when she was like 16 or something. And it definitely, and I also know it's young adult, like it is young adult. So I'm kind of like, it's easy to read. It's a little like too sweet, I think. But I like know that it gets stronger as it goes. So I'm just trying to get through the first book. And I am enjoying it. It's just not like really, I mean, I have been reading it very consistently, but I can tell the writing is like very simplistic, I guess. It feels like that. And like the world building is not what, you know, I have come to love about Sarah J. Maas's writing. Sometimes like a little too much world building. So, yeah, anyway. And then finally, the other book that I'm reading, Kay is like horrified that I read so many books at the same time, but my brain can work like that, and there's different books for different moods. Fight me. So the last one I'm reading, I picked up at Powell's last time I was there, and I've seen it, but I hadn't grabbed it, and it is called Not Again, and it is a knitting romance book based in New York, in the Bronx. So that's definitely different from the rest of what I'm reading, but Kay has been reading me chapters before bed, which has been very sweet. So just that one's just slowly coming along. But I love a BIPOC knitting romance. It's cute. So yeah, I'm not gonna complain about that. Yeah, if you're reading anything good, give it to me. I always write down your recommendations when I get them. Yeah, I'm not far enough in to tell you that I like love it or anything, but it seems promising. So yeah, definitely different books for different moods. I'm reading Dykette, yeah, which is a great satirical summer read, and then my horror read is Manhunt. I've heard really good things about Dykette. Dykette. That one, and also can't remember. There's like Dykette and then another book that I like associate with it, but I can't remember. I can like see the cover, but I can't think of the name of it. The Ninth House, and I'm loving it. I've heard of that one. Did you end up reading Fourth Wing, Sarah? Because I've had that in my like little audiobook queue, but I haven't actually gotten into it. Started the second book in N.K. Jemison's The Inheritance trilogy, and I just finished Just Like Home. Okay, I'm taking a screenshot of everyone's recommendations. Where are we at? Right. I haven't read Fourth Wing yet. Yeah, I feel like I've been hearing such mixed things. And I just haven't gotten into it yet. I read Fourth Wing a few weeks ago, enjoyed it, was so sad to realize the second one isn't out yet. I'm liking Dykette. I know some people are like, the characters are unlikable, but I think if you accept it's satirical, it's well worth reading. I'm really enjoying it. Cool. Yeah, maybe I will set a reminder to read that next summer because I already feel like I'm in the like cozy fall. Oh, I just got Legends and Lattes finally on Libby through the library, so hopefully I'll finish up the sentence pretty quick, and then I can read Legends and Lattes because I know everyone talks so highly about it. My mom liked Fourth Wing so much that we had to pre-order book 2. It's the first book I found with a non-binary character that uses all pronouns and there's no intro, it's just naturally, which is so cool. Yeah, that's really awesome. In terms of using the pronouns all at once from the narrator's point of view, the non-binary character isn't the narrator. Yeah, got it. Yeah, because I read like a very sweet what was that book called? Chef's Kiss, which had a non-binary character in it. But like the whole I'm just so like over, and I understand it's important, but I feel like there's just so much more complexity for a non-binary character's like narrative than just having the conflict be about other people like not that like seeing them as valid. Like I'm like, why does that always have to be the issue? And I feel like for a long time it was like, why? Like I guess that's better than like the narrative ending with like trans people being in a lot of movies, you know, and that was the only representation for a long time. So there like is improvement, but also like I always think of Donald Glover talking about Atlanta and being like, you know, that we've made strides in representation when like basically like not like mediocre, but like just average Black folks or queer folks stories are being told. And I think about that like a lot. Especially when I'm reading like a romance where I'm like, wow, this is representative. Like this is a representation of like a partnership that I would be part of, but like the whole climax and like issue within the book, the conflict I guess is like just about identity, and it's like, yeah, that is real, that is something that's happening, and like can there be like something else? Anyway, that's my soapbox, it's fine. Read trans non-binary or BIPOC people in literature where it isn't the crux of the plot or conflict. It's incidental and it's about like just their life experiences. Yeah, exactly. Like it's so I'm trying to anyway, I'm so tired. As a Chinese queer woman of emotionally intense, sad Chinese immigrant plots and stories need joy too. Yeah. Yep. I feel it. And again, that's like why I was so excited about this like Chef's Kiss book. And I still enjoyed it. Like, it was very sweet. There were parts of it that were sexy. I liked it. And I was like, why are they dealing with this bullshit at their job? Almost feels exploitative. I feel kind of like trauma porn level, but I will leave that topic now, lol. Yeah, I feel like I'm trying to think of like the word that I'm thinking of, but it's kind of just like it simmers down and there's no like substance left. There's like for sure a word that I am just like blanking on. Like simplified. I don't know. But yeah, it just feels like there should be more like meat. Reductive. Oh my God. Thank you. I don't know why I do that sometimes. Yes, reductive. 100%. Thank you. Absolutely. That's why, like, there have been, like, that's why I love Louise Erdrich so much, is I feel like she just, like, creates these, like, very complex, it's not even that they're not typical, but it's just not the representation that Native folks usually have in media. And they're like very interesting and right. Like I feel like they are a person that I know. I also love Insecure, the TV show on HBO by Issa Rae, for the same reason. Like it just feels like you're like, yeah, no, she like made some mistakes. Like she's not perfect. She's, you know, like, yeah, it just like feels real and complex, and that's what I really love when I'm consuming media, is to just like see all the sides, because that's what real life is like. You know. There was also this show that my family all started watching on Showtime, and I giggle because there were some pretty intense, because it's like an HBO Showtime show, like queer sex scenes that my grandma and mom were like, oh, okay. But it was called Vida, and basically it's like two girls whose mom passes away, and they go to kind of like settle her estate, sort of. Like they're just like, okay, what do we do? There's like this bar downstairs that we own. They own the building. And it turns out that her mom was like married to a woman, and had been extremely homophobic and disciplined the oldest daughter, who was queer. You know, and it was very complex, like a lot of family drama, and they're all Latinas, so it like very much resonated with me and my family. And it was canceled, I think, after like 3 seasons, but that was really like, woo, like, and I think because it was talking about like that family, like just again, like the complexity, things are not, nobody is good or bad. Like people do things out of trauma responses, people do things, you know, to protect people, even though it might not seem like that at the time. And it did actually allow for like some nice conversations to happen between like my mom and my grandma and I, and my sister even too. So yeah, I would recommend that show, and like the whole cast and crew were like queer Latinas for the most part. Yeah, it's a really, really good show. It's called Vida. Agree Louise Erdrich's characters. Nuance while still touching on the pain, complexity of life and experiences. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, I need to adjust a little bit my body. Slide away. I'm not used to having like hardwood floors. I'm grateful for it, but I was like on carpet and Now when I like move, I'm like, ah. Go down. Kay is home. Go get him. Where's your Kay? Who's home? Go. Oh my God, you little scaredy cat. One, two, three. So every sixth row, I'm doing some decreases. And I definitely need like an overhead light or something in here because I'm definitely, it doesn't look dark on the screen, but like, can I turn up the, oh there, that helps too. But I'm definitely can't see, like I can tell that things are getting harder to see. And the sun is setting a lot earlier because fall is coming. My hair's kind of like bugging me. It's like tickling me. So I got sent by two separate people this new game. Like, it's not a board game, but a game. And it's called Knuck Tats, and it's basically like a knuckle tattoo creation game. And you have like a client, and then you all compete for who has the better like knuckle tattoo option combo for the client. And I'm very excited to play it. I will definitely update you because I think it's going to be very funny. The people that I'm going to play with it are very funny, so we'll see how it goes. We are at the lake with zero streaming, so we are stuck watching Mission Impossible 3 after just finishing Mission Impossible 2. That's not a bad, it's not a bad option. There are worse options. But you're getting, wait, zero streaming because of, but you're on here, right? So you have Wi-Fi? A little bit? Okay, guys, I think I'm losing a little bit of steam. And it looks like there's slightly fewer folks hanging out. So I'm gonna go probably watch an episode of Yellow Jackets before bed, and I'm gonna celebrate not having the other house anymore. As of midnight tonight, we're released of responsibility. So I have a video coming out Friday that is about fall wardrobe planning that I hope you enjoy. I'm really happy with how it turned out. And yeah, if you would like to send me a tip via Ko-Fi, never an obligation, but I always really appreciate it, so I'll post that link here. I'll also be doing some knitting vlogs coming up and a regular podcast episode. But yeah, thanks so much for hanging, and I will see you next Tuesday, probably a little earlier, maybe like 6:30 instead of 7. Yeah. Thanks, guys. I always enjoy hanging, and thanks for all the book recommendations, movie recommendations, and I will talk to you next time. Bye.